Right. So it's an experiential work, right? It's a physical work you have to expose yourself to, otherwise, it is otherwise not perceivable. You have to literally bring your own brain, because you, in the most way, you experience it within yourself rather than through looking at something. I mean, it starts by looking at nothing, really, or at a dramaturgy, a composition of light and sound, but the actual work, the actual piece is synthesized, inside of yourself. So it blurs the boundaries between, what's inside of you and what's outside of you. And that's what's interesting about it. Like what you perceive is not quite clear. Does it start here or here? And it's quite infinite. It's just this that's what I like about it. It really gives an idea of infinity. This is a minimal artwork. And with minimal, I mean it uses very minimal ingredients, or a few ingredients. And with all minimal work, it is important, crucial, to get it right, to do it right, because otherwise the character of the work changes quickly. And in a place like this, where there's many fellow artists, it's a group exhibition, so it cannot take over. It cannot just invade the rest of the space, right? But it's very hard. It's very hard because fog is like particles, very, very tiny particles. And I tell you, it's amazing. A little tiny something, an opening, and it will go through. And over time, because the fog is being pushed in, so there's a little bit of pressure in here, and so the fog pushes out of the. So we'll see. Here, you stand, right? You walk, so you're free to move. It means that your hand goes away like this, if you stretch out your hand, you don't see it quite anymore. And if you look down on yourself, somehow your body vanishes here, so you don't see your legs and your feet. And of course, gravity still works, which is very sad, because ideally there shouldn't be gravity. But that's not the point. The fog is really not the point, because fog is something that we all know. What makes it so particularly appealing, I think, and actually uplifting in a way, is for me it's like bathing in light. It has a kind of sense of bathing in this kind of beautiful, pulsating, animated light architecture. I believe in ambiguity. I believe in things that are not easily at a first glance, clear or discernible, decodable, but that you as an audience have many different angles to hook into it. I normally refrain from explaining the work too much, because this is, again, the more you clearly say, this is, the artist says, this work is about this, and then that's it, right? Because who wants to doubt the artist? And that's really sort of a problem. Having said that, the work does indeed play with the boundaries from within yourself, without yourself. How do we perceive the world? We are so trained to reference ourselves, our existence, our emotion, our interaction within a given surrounding, right? So it's very clear, this is a space. We do not discuss this, right? We sit, there's 4 people here, 4 independent people, and we all acknowledge that this is a space, and with Mexico City, etc., right? 2010. But then the question is it really like that, right? Or is there something else to it? And then there's all these questions about dream space, right? Why are dreams so real? Or why are drug experiences so real as well? So there must be something more to it. And I think this work in particular, references a little bit into that. Like what happens if you wipe out the usual cues, because again, we live by cues. Wall, okay, I understand where I am. So what if you don't understand anymore because there's nothing to see? And on top of not seeing anything, there's all of a sudden patterns, and that almost make it impossible for a moment to. You don't understand where the light comes from. That's very interesting, by the way, because the light comes only from one spot, but you do not necessarily perceive it like that. It seems to be all around you. Things like that. So the work was, often very aggressive, very loud, also immersive, and trying to put you into another world, right? But not necessarily people came out smiling.